Deep beneath the Earth's surface, in a remote valley untouched by modern civilization, archaeologists uncovered a tomb unlike any other. Inside, they found not just human remains, but artifacts that defied explanation, objects that seemed to hint at rituals and beliefs long forgotten by time. This discovery, like so many others, raises more questions than it answers. Why did ancient civilizations go to such lengths to honor their dead? What secrets lie hidden in these burial sites, waiting to be uncovered? The truth is, even with all our advancements, we are still grappling with the mysteries left behind by those who came before us. Today, we're diving into some of the world's most enigmatic ancient burial sites, exploring the fascinating blend of history, archaeology, and unanswered questions that continue to captivate us. From tombs filled with inexplicable artifacts to burial grounds that defy conventional understanding, this is a journey into the unknown, one that challenges what we think we know about the past. Are you ready to uncover the secrets that have been buried for centuries? Let's begin. The Great Pyramid of Giza stands as an icon of human achievement, a structure so colossal and precise that it has captivated minds for thousands of years. Built during the reign of Pharaoh Khufu around 2500 BCE, it's the last remaining wonder of the ancient world, yet its purpose remains shrouded in mystery. While mainstream archaeology points to it being a tomb for Khufu, the absence of his remains or any definitive burial artifacts has fueled endless speculation. Could it have been more than just a resting place for a pharaoh? Some theorists suggest it was an astronomical observatory, aligning with celestial bodies to map the heavens. Others propose it served as a powerful energy generator or a sophisticated water pump. The precision of its construction is staggering, each stone block weighing several tons, fitted together with such accuracy that even a sheet of paper can't slip between them. How did ancient Egyptians achieve this without the technology we have today? The lack of clear answers only deepens the intrigue. Adding to the enigma is the question of who actually built it. While traditional accounts credit skilled laborers working under Khufu's rule, alternative theories point to lost civilizations or even extraterrestrial influence. The truth is, we still don't have conclusive evidence to settle these debates. Modern technology, like ground-penetrating radar and laser scanning, has revealed hidden chambers and passages within the pyramid, sparking new questions and reigniting old ones. As we peel back the layers of this ancient marvel, one thing becomes clear. The Great Pyramid of Giza is far more than a simple tomb. It's a testament to human ingenuity and a puzzle that continues to challenge our understanding of history. But the mysteries don't end here. Across the globe, other burial sites await, each with its own secrets that push the boundaries of what we think we know about ancient engineering and the civilizations that came before us. In the heart of China's Shaanxi province lies one of the most astonishing archaeological discoveries of all time, the Terracotta Army. Unearthed in 1974 by local farmers, this incredible find revealed thousands of life-sized clay soldiers, horses, and chariots, each crafted with stunning detail. These silent sentinels were created to guard the tomb of China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, who unified the nation over 2,000 years ago. But this vast army is just the beginning of the story. The emperor's burial chamber itself remains shrouded in mystery, unopened to this day. Archaeologists and historians are hesitant to disturb it, fearing that modern technology might damage the delicate treasures within. What could be hidden in that untouched chamber? Some speculate it contains priceless artifacts, while others believe it holds secrets that could rewrite history. This tantalizing question lingers, much like the unbroken silence of the Terracotta Army themselves. And while Qin Shi Huang's tomb keeps its secrets, it's far from the only ancient burial site waiting to reveal its full story. Across the globe, countless other tombs and monuments whisper their own unsolved mysteries, inviting us to explore the unknown. In November of 1922, British archaeologist Howard Carter made one of the most sensational discoveries in the history of Egyptology, the untouched tomb of the young pharaoh Tutankhamun. Nestled in the Valley of the Kings, the tomb was a treasure trove of artifacts, offering an unprecedented glimpse into the opulence and rituals of ancient Egypt. From golden chariots to intricate jewelry, each piece told a story of a civilization that revered its rulers in both life and death. But alongside the awe-inspiring discovery came whispers of something darker, the so-called Curse of the Pharaohs. This legend gained traction after a series of strange and untimely deaths among those connected to the excavation. Lord Carnarvon, the financial backer of the expedition, died just months after the tomb was opened, succumbing to an infection from a mosquito bite. Newspapers at the time sensationalized his death, linking it to the curse, and soon, other members of the team began to face misfortunes. Was it coincidence, or was there something more sinister at play? Modern science offers a more grounded explanation. The ancient Egyptians, known for their advanced embalming techniques, often used toxic materials like arsenic and mercury in burial rituals. Prolonged exposure to these substances in the confined space of the tomb could have had harmful effects on the excavators. Yet, the allure of the curse persists, blending science with superstition in a way that continues to captivate the imagination. Beyond the myths, the real significance of Tutankhamun's tomb lies in its artifacts. Objects like the iconic golden death mask and the intricate alabaster canopic jars provide invaluable insights into the religious beliefs, artistry, and daily life of ancient Egypt. They reveal a culture deeply connected to the afterlife, where every item placed in the tomb served a purpose in guiding the pharaoh's journey to eternity. This blend of history and mystery isn't unique to Tutankhamun. Across the globe, ancient burial sites are often shrouded in legends and tales of curses, from the warrior tombs of China to the sacred mounds of the Americas. These stories, whether rooted in fact or fiction, remind us of the enduring power of the past to inspire both wonder and fear. Stretching across the arid plains of southern Peru, the Nazca Lines are one of the most enigmatic creations of the ancient world. These massive geoglyphs, some spanning hundreds of feet, depict intricate shapes, animals, and geometric patterns, etched into the desert floor over 2,000 years ago. But what were they for? Theories abound, ranging from practical uses to the downright otherworldly. Some researchers argue that the lines served as an astronomical calendar, aligning with celestial events to guide agricultural cycles or religious ceremonies. Others propose a more speculative idea, that these designs were messages intended for extraterrestrial visitors, a way for the Nazca people to communicate with beings beyond our world. Yet, the most compelling theories may lie closer to home. Archaeologists have discovered numerous burial sites scattered near the Nazca Lines, suggesting a deep connection between these vast geoglyphs and the rituals surrounding death. Could the lines have been part of a funerary landscape, marking the passage of souls or honoring the deceased? The Nazca culture placed great significance on the afterlife, and the lines may have served as a bridge between the living and the divine, a way to communicate with ancestors or spiritual forces. The sheer scale of the Nazca Lines raises questions about the society that created them. What drove the Nazca people to invest so much effort into these designs, visible only from the air? Were they meant to be seen by the gods, or did they hold a more earthly purpose? The mystery deepens when you consider the precision required to create such massive figures without the benefit of modern technology. Each line, perfectly straight or elegantly curved, speaks to a level of planning and skill that continues to astonish experts. As we ponder the purpose of the Nazca Lines, it's hard not to wonder how ancient cultures used burial sites and monuments to connect with the unknown. Were these creations merely markers of the dead, or did they serve as conduits for something greater? The Nazca Lines remind us that the mysteries of the past often transcend the boundaries of our understanding, inviting us to explore the ways in which humanity has sought to make sense of life, death, and the cosmos. Beneath the bustling streets of Paris lies a hidden world, a labyrinth of tunnels and chambers that form the Catacombs of Paris. Often referred to as the City of the Dead, this underground ossuary holds the remains of more than 6 million people, making it one of the most extensive and haunting burial sites in the world. But how did this subterranean network come to be? The story begins in the late 18th century when Paris faced a crisis of overcrowded cemeteries. The city's primary burial grounds, like Les Innocents, were overflowing, posing serious health risks to the population. To solve the problem, authorities turned to the vast network of abandoned limestone quarries that had supplied building materials for centuries. Starting in 1786, the remains of the dead were carefully transferred underground, creating what we now know as the catacombs. Walking through these tunnels today, you're met with walls lined with neatly stacked bones and skulls, a macabre yet strangely artistic arrangement. The atmosphere is undeniably eerie, with an otherworldly silence broken only by the faint echo of footsteps. Over the years, the catacombs have become a magnet for legends and mysteries. Tales of lost explorers who vanished without a trace, whispered rumors of secret societies meeting in the depths, and even reports of supernatural encounters have only added to their mystique. What makes the catacombs even more fascinating is their dual identity as both a historical site and a cultural phenomenon. They serve as a stark reminder of the fragility of life, yet they also highlight humanity's ingenuity in solving complex problems, even in the face of death. As we continue to explore the mysteries of ancient burial sites, the Catacombs of Paris stand as a testament to the ways in which urban spaces can hold dark, enigmatic histories. Deep within the heart of China lies one of history's most enigmatic and heavily guarded secrets, the tomb of Emperor Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of a unified China. This monumental burial site, shrouded in mystery and surrounded by the famed Terracotta Army, has fascinated archaeologists and historians for decades. Yet, despite its allure, the tomb remains unopened, its secrets locked away. Why? The answer lies in a combination of ancient ingenuity, technological limitations, and ethical dilemmas. Ancient texts describe the tomb as a microcosm of the emperor's empire, complete with rivers of mercury to represent the great waterways of China. The use of mercury, a highly toxic substance, is not just symbolic, it's a potential death trap. Scientists have detected unusually high levels of mercury in the soil around the tomb, lending credibility to these ancient accounts. But it's not just the mercury that poses a challenge. Historical records also speak of intricate booby traps designed to protect the emperor's eternal rest. Crossbows rigged to fire at intruders, hidden pitfalls, and other mechanical defenses may still lie in wait, making excavation a perilous endeavor. Beyond the physical dangers, there are significant ethical and technological debates surrounding the tomb's exploration. Modern archaeologists face the question, should we disturb a site that has remained untouched for over 2,000 years? Some argue that opening the tomb could lead to unprecedented discoveries, shedding light on ancient Chinese culture, technology, and beliefs. Others worry about the potential loss of artifacts due to exposure or the moral implications of disturbing a burial site. Additionally, the technology required to safely excavate and preserve the tomb's contents may not yet exist, raising concerns about irreversible damage. This cautious approach isn't unique to Emperor Qin Shi Huang's tomb. across the ancient world, cultures went to extraordinary lengths to protect their burial sites from intruders. From the elaborate tombs of Egypt's pharaohs to the hidden barrows of Viking chieftains, these sacred spaces were designed not just to honor the dead but to deter the living. The methods varied: booby traps, hidden entrances, curses, but the intent was the same: to ensure that the resting places of the powerful remained undisturbed for eternity. As we reflect on the challenges of exploring Emperor Qin Shi Huang's tomb, it's impossible not to wonder what other secrets lie buried beneath the earth, waiting for the right moment and the right technology to be revealed. The Sutton ship burial, unearthed in Suffolk, England in 1939, is one of the most extraordinary archaeological discoveries of the 20th century. This 7th century burial site revealed an entire ship, nearly 90 feet long, buried beneath a mound of earth. Inside, a wealth of treasures was found, including an intricately designed ceremonial helmet, gleaming gold jewelry, and finely crafted weapons. These artifacts offer a glimpse into the opulence and sophistication of Anglo-Saxon culture, a period often overshadowed by the later Viking and Norman eras. The craftsmanship of these items suggests a society that valued both artistry and power, capable of creating objects that were as symbolic as they were functional. But who was laid to rest in such an extravagant manner? While no body was found, the sheer scale and richness of the burial point to someone of immense importance, likely a king or warrior of unparalleled status. Many believe it could be Raedwald, a powerful ruler of East Anglia, whose reign marked a turning point in early English history. The absence of a body adds another layer to the mystery. Was it a symbolic gesture, or did the remains decompose over centuries? The elaborate nature of the burial suggests it was more than just a farewell. It was a statement of legacy, a way to ensure the deceased's power and influence would be remembered for generations. What makes Sutton particularly fascinating is how it mirrors the beliefs and values of its time. The ship itself was a symbol of journey, not just across the seas but into the afterlife. The treasures buried alongside the individual weren't merely possessions, they were offerings meant to accompany and honor the deceased in the next world. This elaborate display of wealth and ritual highlights the importance of status and belief systems in Anglo-Saxon society. Burial sites like Sutton aren't just about the dead, they're windows into the living, revealing how communities honored their leaders and made sense of the mysteries of life and death. As we explore burial sites across the globe, it becomes clear that each one tells a story about the people who created it, their values, their fears, and their aspirations. From the grandeur of Sutton to the enigmatic tombs of other ancient civilizations, these sites remind us that even in death, humans strive to leave a mark, a testament to who they were and what they believed. Standing as a testament to both human ambition and the relentless passage of time, the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus was a marvel of its age. Built in the 4th century BC in what is now modern-day Turkey, this grand structure was commissioned by Mausolus, a powerful Persian satrap, and his wife Artemisia. It wasn't just a tomb, it was a symbol of their wealth, influence, and the blending of Greek and Persian architectural styles. Towering over the city of Halicarnassus, the mausoleum was adorned with intricate sculptures, towering columns, and a pyramid-shaped roof capped by a massive statue of a chariot. It was so extraordinary that it earned a place among the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Yet, despite its fame, the mausoleum's fate is shrouded in mystery. Over centuries, it faced earthquakes, invasions, and the gradual erosion of time. By the Middle Ages, much of the structure had crumbled, and its stones were repurposed for other buildings. Today, only fragments remain: scattered sculptures, broken columns, and a sense of awe for what once was. Archaeologists and historians have pieced together clues from these remnants, attempting to recreate the mausoleum's original design and understand its cultural significance. It's a reminder that even the most monumental achievements are not immune to the forces of decay. What's fascinating is how the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus continues to inspire. Its legacy lives on not just in the ruins but in the very word mausoleum, which has become synonymous with grand burial sites. Efforts to reconstruct its history are ongoing, with scholars using ancient texts, surviving artifacts, and modern technology to bring this lost wonder back to life, at least in our imagination. It's a powerful example of how even when physical structures vanish, their stories endure. This raises a broader question. If a site as grand as this can disappear, what does that tell us about the impermanence of human achievement? The Mausoleum of Halicarnassus reminds us that history is not just about what survives but also about what we strive to remember. As we move forward, this idea becomes even more poignant when we consider how other ancient burial sites have faced similar fates, some lost entirely to the sands of time. Among the greatest enigmas of history lies the final resting place of Alexander the Great, a legend whose tomb has eluded discovery for over 2 millennia. Despite his towering legacy as one of history's most influential conquerors, the whereabouts of his burial site remain shrouded in mystery. Theories about its location have sparked debate and intrigue across centuries, with some historians pointing to Egypt, where he was initially interred in Memphis, later moved to Alexandria. Others argue it could be in Greece, the land of his birth, or even somewhere entirely unexpected. The search for Alexander's tomb is not just a quest for physical remains. It's a journey into the heart of his enduring legacy and the cultural weight his resting place carries. The discovery of his tomb would not only solve a historical puzzle, but also reignite discussions about his impact on the ancient world and beyond. As we ponder the fate of Alexander's burial site, it raises a broader question. How do the burial places of history's greatest figures shape or erase their legacies? This leads us to consider how other monumental leaders are remembered or forgotten through the stories of their final resting places. Nestled in the arid hills of Luxor, Egypt, the Valley of the Kings stands as one of the most iconic archaeological sites in the world. This ancient necropolis served as the final resting place for pharaohs of the New Kingdom, including legends like Ramses II and the boy King Tutankhamun. It's here that the grandeur of ancient Egyptian burial practices comes to life. Elaborate tombs carved deep into the limestone, adorned with intricate hieroglyphs and filled with treasures meant to accompany the rulers into the afterlife. Gold, jewelry, chariots, and even food were meticulously placed alongside the mummified bodies, reflecting a belief in a journey beyond death. Yet, the very opulence that makes these tombs so fascinating has also made them a magnet for plunder. Over the centuries, tomb raiders have stripped many of these sites of their riches, leaving archaeologists to piece together what remains. Environmental factors like flooding and erosion further threaten their preservation, adding urgency to ongoing conservation efforts. But the allure of these tombs doesn't stop at their historical significance. They also draw the attention of modern-day treasure hunters, drawn by tales of untold wealth waiting to be uncovered. And with that, we're led to a broader question. Why have burial sites throughout history so often become the target of those seeking fortune? Shifting our gaze from ancient mysteries to a more contemporary enigma, the tomb of the unknown soldier stands as a powerful and poignant symbol of sacrifice and remembrance. Unlike the archaeological puzzles of the past, this memorial speaks to a different kind of mystery, one tied to the anonymity of those who gave their lives in service. Located in various nations around the world, these tombs honor unidentified soldiers whose identities were lost to the chaos of war. They serve not just as burial sites, but as profound reminders of the countless individuals whose stories remain untold. What makes these memorials so emotionally resonant is their universality. The unknown soldier could be anyone: a brother, a father, a friend, a representation of every family's grief and every nation's loss. The act of laying an unidentified soldier to rest allows us to collectively mourn and honor the sacrifices made in conflicts that shaped history. It's a mystery that doesn't ask to be solved, but rather to be remembered. Yet, even in this anonymity, there's a persistent human desire to uncover the identities of those buried there. Advances in forensic science and DNA analysis have occasionally allowed us to put names to the unknown. In some cases, remains once thought to be lost forever have been identified, bringing closure to families and rewriting parts of history. These breakthroughs remind us that even in the face of collective memory, individual stories still matter deeply. As we reflect on the tomb of the unknown soldier, it's impossible not to see how burial sites serve dual purposes. They are both deeply personal and profoundly collective. They honor individual lives while also standing as symbols of shared heritage and loss. This duality is what makes them so enduring, whether they're ancient tombs shrouded in myth or modern memorials wrapped in reverence. Hidden deep within the peat bogs of northern Europe lies a chilling window into the ancient world: bog bodies. These remarkably preserved human remains, some dating back over 2,000 years, offer a haunting glimpse into the lives and deaths of people from a distant past. Unlike mummies, which were intentionally preserved through elaborate processes, these bodies were naturally mummified by the unique conditions of the bogs. The cold, acidic water, low oxygen levels, and chemical composition of the peat worked together to halt decay, leaving behind skin, hair, and even clothing in astonishing detail. Theories about how these individuals met their fate are as varied as they are intriguing. Some appear to have been victims of ritual sacrifices, their deaths possibly linked to beliefs about appeasing gods or ensuring fertility. Others show signs of violent executions with evidence of strangulation, stabbing, or blunt force trauma. One particularly well-known bog body, Toland Man, was discovered with a noose still around his neck, yet his serene expression suggests a complex story behind his death. Were these people criminals, prisoners of war, or chosen offerings? The truth remains buried in the mysteries of time. What makes bog bodies so fascinating is not just their state of preservation, but what they tell us about the societies they came from. The clothing they wore, woolen capes, leather shoes, and intricate hairstyles reveals craftsmanship and cultural practices. Analysis of their stomach contents has uncovered their last meals, often consisting of grains, seeds, and even traces of wild plants. These details paint a vivid picture of daily life in Iron Age Europe, offering a tangible connection to people who lived millennia ago. Yet, the bogs are more than just natural time capsules, they're also enigmatic storytellers. While they preserve, they can also distort. The acidic environment can dissolve bones while preserving soft tissue, leaving researchers with partial puzzles to piece together. This duality of preservation and destruction raises important questions about how natural environments shape our understanding of history. As we continue to uncover these ancient remains, each discovery invites us to reflect on the fragility of life and the enduring power of nature. What other secrets do these bogs hold, waiting to be unearthed? And how can the silent testimony of these bodies help us better understand the civilizations that came before us? The answers may lie hidden in the depths, waiting for the right moment to surface. Among the many enigmas of ancient history, the final resting place of one of the most formidable conquerors the world has ever known remains shrouded in mystery. Genghis Khan, the founder of the Mongol Empire, united vast territories stretching from Asia to Europe, yet his burial site has eluded discovery for centuries. Legends say that after his death in 1227, his followers carried out his final wishes with an almost ritualistic precision. It's believed that to ensure his grave would never be found, the men tasked with burying him were executed, and some accounts even suggest a river was diverted to cover the site entirely. These stories, though impossible to verify, speak to the lengths taken to safeguard the legacy of a man whose name still commands awe and reverence. The search for Genghis Khan's tomb has captivated historians, archaeologists, and treasure hunters alike, but every effort has ended in frustration. The Mongolian steppe, with its vast and unforgiving landscapes, holds its secrets tightly. Some theories suggest the site could lie in the sacred Burkhan-Koldun mountain range, a place deeply tied to Genghis Khan's spiritual beliefs. Others speculate that his grave might be hidden beneath a riverbed, a testament to the elaborate measures taken to keep it concealed. Yet, despite modern technology and countless expeditions, the location remains one of history's most tantalizing puzzles. What makes this mystery even more intriguing is the broader question it raises. Why go to such extraordinary lengths to protect a burial site? For Genghis Khan, it wasn't just about secrecy, it was about preserving his legacy and ensuring his empire's survival. In a world where grave robbers and rival factions could desecrate or exploit a leader's resting place, hiding it was a strategic move. This practice wasn't unique to Genghis Khan. Many powerful figures throughout history sought to safeguard their legacies through similar acts of secrecy. As we ponder these ancient strategies, it's worth asking, what other monumental secrets might still be waiting to be uncovered? Buried beneath the modern streets of Paula, Malta, lies one of the most enigmatic and ancient burial sites ever discovered, the Hypogeum of Ħal-Saflieni. This subterranean sanctuary, carved entirely by hand over 5,000 years ago, offers a haunting glimpse into the rituals and beliefs of a long-lost civilization. Dating back to around 4000 BC, the Hypogeum stretches across 3 levels, with chambers and passageways meticulously hollowed out of the limestone bedrock. But this isn't just a tomb, it's a masterpiece of prehistoric engineering and artistry. The walls are adorned with intricate carvings, spirals, and patterns that seem to echo the rhythms of nature, while the architecture itself reflects a deep understanding of both form and function. What truly sets the Hypogeum apart, however, are its remarkable acoustic properties. The central chamber, known as the Oracle Room, has a peculiar resonance. When certain frequencies are produced, the sound seems to reverberate through the entire structure, creating an otherworldly effect. Some researchers believe this feature was intentionally designed to enhance rituals or ceremonies, possibly even to communicate with the spirits of the dead. Could the Hypogeum have served as a portal between the living and the afterlife? The idea isn't as far-fetched as it might seem. Ancient cultures often viewed death as a transition rather than an end, and spaces like this may have been designed to bridge those two worlds. What's striking about the Hypogeum and many ancient burial sites like it is how they blend the spiritual with the practical. These spaces weren't just places to lay the dead. They were carefully crafted environments meant to serve multiple purposes: religious, social, and even political. The Hypogeum, for instance, may have been a site for communal gatherings, where the living could honor their ancestors while affirming their shared identity and beliefs. This dual purpose, honoring the dead while strengthening the bonds of the living, is a recurring theme in burial practices across cultures. It's a reminder that even in death, these ancient societies found ways to connect, celebrate, and communicate. And as we explore these sites, we're left wondering what messages they're still trying to convey across the millennia. Beneath the arid landscapes of Peru lies a tomb that has puzzled archaeologists and historians alike, a resting place known as the Tomb of the Silver Hands. Unearthed in the Lambayeque region, this burial site revealed the remains of a noblewoman adorned with an extraordinary feature: silver prosthetic hands. Dating back over 1,000 years, this discovery has sparked endless questions about her life. her status, and the culture that honored her in such an unusual way. Who was this woman, and why did her people choose to replace her hands with silver? Some suggest she may have been a ruler or a high priestess, perhaps a figure of immense power and reverence. Others propose that the prosthetics symbolize a spiritual transformation or a connection to the divine. What we do know is that her burial was elaborate, filled with artifacts and offerings that hint at her importance in her society. Her tomb is more than just a resting place, it's a window into a world where art, spirituality, and power intertwined in ways we're still trying to understand. This discovery reminds us that ancient burial sites are more than just graves. They're time capsules that tell stories of lives lived long ago. From the materials used in her prosthetics to the objects buried alongside her, every detail offers a clue about the culture that shaped her existence. As we continue to uncover these mysteries, we're reminded once again that the past has a way of surprising us, revealing secrets that challenge our assumptions and deepen our connection to the human experience. Deep in the wetlands of Motala, Sweden, archaeologists made a chilling discovery that would rewrite our understanding of ancient burial practices. Known as the Tomb of the Sunken Skulls, this site revealed a haunting scene. Skulls of men, women, and even children mounted on wooden stakes submerged in a shallow lake. These remains, dating back over 8,000 years, paint a picture of a ritual so macabre it feels almost otherworldly. But what could drive a community to treat their dead in such a way? One theory suggests these stakes were part of a ritualistic offering, perhaps to appease gods or spirits believed to reside in the water. Water has long held spiritual significance in many ancient cultures, often seen as a bridge between the living and the dead. Placing the skulls in a lake might have been a way to honor or communicate with the supernatural. Yet another interpretation takes a darker turn. Could these skulls have been trophies or warnings? Mounting heads on stakes has historically been a method of instilling fear, a message to enemies or outsiders. Were these individuals victims of conflict, their remains displayed as a grim deterrent? What makes this discovery even more fascinating is the diversity of the skulls. They belong to people of all ages and both genders, suggesting that this practice wasn't limited to warriors or leaders. It forces us to rethink our assumptions about ancient societies. Were these communities more complex than we've imagined, with rituals that blurred the lines between reverence and intimidation? The Tomb of the Sunken Skulls challenges us to confront the uncomfortable realities of the past. It reminds us that burial sites are not just windows into ancient life, but also into ancient minds, what they feared, what they revered, and how they made sense of the world around them. This discovery, like so many others, shows just how much we still have to learn about the cultures that came before us. One of the most striking discoveries in the world of ancient burial sites emerged from the Han Dynasty in China, a tomb that housed a burial suit crafted entirely from jade. Unearthed in the mid-20th century, this remarkable artifact, known as the Jade Burial Suit, stands as a testament to the sophistication and deep spiritual beliefs of ancient Chinese culture. Made up of thousands of intricately cut jade pieces sewn together with gold thread, the suit was designed to protect and honor the deceased in the afterlife. But why jade? In Chinese tradition, jade was more than just a precious stone. It symbolized purity, immortality, and a connection to the spiritual realm. The use of jade in burial rituals, particularly for royalty and high-ranking individuals, highlights its importance as a material believed to ward off decay and ensure the soul's safe passage. The creation of such a burial suit was no small feat. Each piece of jade had to be carefully shaped and polished, then meticulously assembled to fit the body of the deceased. This process required not only immense skill, but also a profound understanding of the spiritual significance behind the act. The Han Dynasty's burial practices were deeply rooted in the belief that the afterlife mirrored the physical world, and so the dead were buried with objects and garments that reflected their status and prepared them for the journey ahead. The jade burial suit, with its gleaming fragments of green stone and shimmering gold threads, was a physical manifestation of these beliefs, a bridge between the mortal world and the eternal. What makes this discovery even more fascinating is how it reveals the cultural values of the time. Burial sites like this one weren't just places to lay the dead to rest. They were elaborate statements about identity, power, and the human relationship with the divine. The jade burial suit serves as a reminder that ancient cultures often viewed death not as an end, but as a transformation, a continuation of life in another form. As we explore more burial sites around the world, we'll see how these practices reflect the unique ways different societies grappled with the mysteries of existence and what lies beyond. In 2015, archaeologists unearthed a tomb in Pylos, Greece, that would turn out to be one of the most significant discoveries of the century. Known as the Tomb of the Griffin Warrior, this undisturbed burial site dates back over 3,500 years to the height of the Mycenaean civilization. Inside, researchers found a treasure trove of artifacts, from intricately crafted gold rings to a bronze sword of remarkable craftsmanship. Each item offers a window into a culture that thrived long before the rise of classical Greece. But what makes this discovery truly extraordinary is not just the wealth of the objects, but the story they tell about a society often overshadowed by its successors. The Griffin Warrior's tomb challenges our understanding of the Mycenaeans, revealing their sophistication and influence in ways that written records alone could never convey. Even today, as we uncover burial sites like this one, we're reminded that history is far from a static narrative. Every discovery has the power to reshape our understanding of the past, offering new perspectives on civilizations long gone. Deep in the frozen landscapes of Siberia, archaeologists unearthed a burial site that offers a rare glimpse into the spiritual world of ancient cultures. Known as the Tomb of the Shaman, this discovery is as enigmatic as it is fascinating. The site contained not only the remains of an individual believed to be a shaman, but also an array of ritualistic artifacts and animal bones, carefully arranged to suggest a ceremonial purpose. These findings paint a vivid picture of the shaman's role in their society, not just as a healer or guide, but as a bridge between the physical and spiritual realms. Shamans held a unique position in ancient communities, often revered for their ability to communicate with spirits, interpret omens, and perform rituals that ensured the well-being of the group. The artifacts found in the tombstones, carved with symbols, animal skulls, and tools believed to have been used in ceremonies, hint at the complexity of these spiritual practices. The presence of animal remains, particularly those of reindeer and birds, suggests that these creatures may have played a symbolic role, perhaps as messengers or guardians in the spiritual journey of the shaman. This burial site is more than just a resting place. It's a window into the beliefs and traditions that shaped ancient Siberian life. The careful arrangement of items and the inclusion of specific animals reveal a deep respect for the natural world and its connection to the unseen forces that guided their existence. As we explore these ancient burial sites, it becomes clear that they are not just about the dead, they are about the living, their beliefs, and their desire to understand the mysteries of life and the afterlife. From the Tomb of the Shaman to other burial sites around the world, these discoveries help us piece together the spiritual practices of cultures long gone, offering clues to how they viewed the world and their place within it. The rituals and artifacts left behind remind us that, across time and geography, humans have always sought meaning in the unknown. Moving to the chilling discovery in Poland, we find a burial site that has captured imaginations and sparked debates for years. Unearthed in a medieval cemetery, the skeleton was far from ordinary. Resting across its neck was a sickle, a sharp farming tool, and within its mouth a large rock had been placed. This strange and deliberate arrangement wasn't accidental, it was a clear attempt to prevent the deceased from rising again. Archaeologists and historians have labeled this a vampire burial, a practice rooted in the deep-seated fears of the undead that haunted medieval Europe. So why go to such lengths? In medieval times, communities were gripped by the belief that certain individuals, often those seen as outsiders or marked by unusual circumstances in life, could return from the grave as revenants or vampires. These beings were thought to bring sickness, death, and misfortune to the living. To stop them, people took drastic measures, burying bodies face down, decapitating them, or, as in this case, using tools and objects to trap the dead. The sickle was meant to sever the head if the body tried to rise, while the rock in the mouth was believed to prevent it from feeding on the living. This burial isn't an isolated case. Across Eastern and Central Europe, similar practices have been uncovered, each telling a story of fear and superstition. These graves offer a window into the collective psyche of medieval societies, revealing how deeply the unknown and the supernatural influenced their daily lives. Burial sites, as it turns out, aren't just places of rest, they're also reflections of the anxieties, beliefs, and rituals of the people who created them. As we ponder the story behind this vampire burial, it raises a broader question: how do the ways we treat the dead mirror our fears about life itself? This leads us to a deeper exploration of how burial practices across cultures and centuries have been shaped by the things that terrified or preoccupied societies the most. Scattered across the rugged landscape of Sardinia, the tombs of the giants stand as silent sentinels of a long-lost civilization. These massive stone structures, some stretching over 30 meters in length, are believed to have served as communal burial sites for the island's ancient inhabitants. Dating back to the Bronze Age, these tombs are more than just places of rest. They are monuments to a culture that valued collective memory and shared ancestry. The sheer scale of these structures is awe-inspiring, with towering central slabs known as stelae, often adorned with intricate carvings and symbols that hint at the spiritual beliefs of the time. The construction of these tombs raises fascinating questions about the people who built them. How did they manage to quarry, transport, and arrange such enormous stones without modern tools? Some theories suggest that these tombs were more than just burial sites. They may have also served as gathering places for rituals, ceremonies, or even political meetings. The design itself is intriguing, with a semicircular forecourt leading to a long, narrow chamber, a layout that some researchers believe symbolizes a transition from life to death. Could these structures have been a way for the living to connect with their ancestors, bridging the gap between the physical and spiritual worlds? What's equally compelling is the role these tombs played in the community. Unlike individual graves, the tombs of the giants were designed to hold the remains of many, suggesting a society that placed a high value on unity and collective identity. These sites may have been places where stories were shared, histories were preserved, and bonds between generations were strengthened. As we ponder the mysteries of these ancient structures, it's clear that burial sites like these were far more than final resting places. They were living memorials woven into the fabric of the community. This idea of communal remembrance isn't unique to Sardinia, and it's a theme that echoes across many ancient cultures. Deep within the lush jungles of Belize lies a cave that holds one of the most fascinating mysteries of the ancient Mayan world, the Tomb of the Crystal Maiden. Discovered in the late 1980s, this burial site revealed the skeleton of a young woman, believed to be in her late teens, nestled among a stunning array of shimmering crystals. The scene was both haunting and mesmerizing, as if the cave itself had cradled her in a bed of natural light. Her bones, preserved for over 1,000 years, paint a picture of a life cut short, yet her burial suggests she held a place of great importance. Who was she? Theories abound, each more intriguing than the last. Some scholars believe she was a noblewoman, perhaps even a princess, buried with the honor befitting her status. Others suggest she might have been a religious figure, a priestess or an oracle whose connection to the spiritual world warranted such a unique resting place. The crystals surrounding her have sparked further speculation. Were they placed there to guide her soul to the afterlife, or did they serve as a protective barrier, shielding her from the forces of the underworld? The Mayans revered caves as portals to the realm of the gods, making this burial site even more significant. The Cave of the Crystal Maiden wasn't just a tomb, it was a bridge between the earthly and the divine. This remarkable discovery reminds us how often ancient burial sites blur the lines between the natural world and the spiritual. Caves, mountains, rivers, these were not just physical landmarks to the ancients, but sacred spaces imbued with meaning. The Mayans, like many other cultures, saw the earth as a living entity, and their burials reflected this deep connection. The Crystal Maiden's tomb is a testament to this belief, a place where geology and spirituality intertwine in a way that continues to captivate us today. As we uncover more about these sacred spaces, we're reminded that the mysteries of the past often lie not just in the artifacts we find, but in the stories they tell about how our ancestors understood the world around them. Imagine a small, windswept island in the middle of nowhere, where the waves crash against jagged cliffs and the only sounds are the cries of seabirds. It's here, in this isolated corner of the world, that archaeologists stumbled upon a grave, a simple marker bearing no name, no date, just a faint outline of a ship etched into the stone. This is the tomb of the unknown sailor, a haunting mystery that has puzzled researchers for decades. Who was this man, where did he come from, and what tragic chain of events brought him to this remote resting place? The discovery raises broader questions about the countless souls lost at sea throughout history. Unlike land-based burials, where identities are often preserved through inscriptions or personal belongings, maritime graves tell a different story. The ocean, with its vast, untamed expanse, has a way of erasing traces of those who vanish beneath its surface. Ships sink, names are forgotten, and stories are swallowed by the waves. This sailor's grave is a poignant reminder of how fragile our connection to the past can be, especially when the sea is involved. Archaeologists face unique challenges when trying to piece together the lives of those buried in such isolated locations. Without artifacts, documents, or even a name, the task becomes a race against time and nature. Saltwater erodes, storms scatter remains, and the passage of centuries obscures the truth. Still, every clue, no matter how small, offers a glimpse into the lives of these forgotten individuals. In the case of the unknown sailor, the ship carving on his gravestone suggests he may have been a seafarer, perhaps a crew member or even a captain, but beyond that, his story remains shrouded in mystery. This burial site also invites us to reflect on how history preserves, or fails to preserve, the identities of individuals. While kings and conquerors are immortalized in grand monuments, the lives of ordinary people often fade into obscurity. Yet, in many ways, it's these untold stories that hold the most intrigue. Each grave, whether marked or unmarked, is a portal to a world we can only begin to understand, a testament to the resilience and fragility of human life. As we ponder the enigma of the unknown sailor, it's impossible not to wonder how many others like him are out there, their stories lost to time and tide. These silent markers, scattered across remote islands and coastal cliffs, serve as both a memorial and a mystery, reminding us of the countless lives intertwined with the sea. Deep in the heart of an unassuming valley, archaeologists stumbled upon a tomb that would rewrite the pages of history. This wasn't just any burial site, it belonged to a king whose name had been erased from memory, his dynasty swallowed by time. The tomb's walls were adorned with faded murals telling fragments of a story no one remembers. Who was this ruler? Why was his legacy forgotten? These are the questions that haunt every inch of this discovery. Such finds are more than just archaeological treasures. They're keys to unlocking the mysteries of civilizations that once thrived but vanished without a trace. The Tomb of the Forgotten King offers a rare glimpse into a world that history books left blank. From the artifacts buried with him, ceremonial weapons, intricate jewelry, and fragments of texts, we begin to piece together the life of a man whose reign shaped an era we'll never fully understand. What makes this discovery so profound is its reminder of how fragile history can be. Empires rise and fall, names are erased, and stories are lost. Yet, through sites like this, we find threads connecting us to those who came before. Burial sites, whether grand or humble, serve as silent witnesses to the lives, struggles, and triumphs of people who walked the earth centuries or even millennia ago. As we uncover these ancient resting places, we're not just digging up bones and relics, we're recovering the voices of those who shaped our world. The Tomb of the Forgotten King is more than a puzzle. It's a bridge to a past that refuses to be silenced. And in that connection, we find a deeper understanding of who we are and where we've come from. From the shadowy chambers of the Great Pyramid of Giza to the enigmatic Tomb of the Forgotten King, the mysteries of ancient burial sites have captivated us for centuries. Each location we've explored today offers a unique window into the past, yet they all share one common thread: the enduring allure of the unknown. The Great Pyramid challenges us with its precise engineering and unanswered questions about its construction. The Tomb of the Forgotten King, cloaked in legend and unanswered riddles, reminds us how much of history remains buried both literally and figuratively. These sites aren't just monuments to the dead, they're stories waiting to be unraveled, holding clues to civilizations long gone. But why do these ancient mysteries continue to fascinate us? Perhaps it's the way they force us to confront the vastness of human history and the limits of our understanding. They remind us that history is not a static record but a living, breathing puzzle, constantly evolving as new discoveries are made. These burial sites are more than just resting places for the dead. They're time capsules that connect us to the people who came before us, their beliefs, their achievements, and their unanswered questions. As we reflect on these extraordinary sites, it's worth considering how they shape our view of the past and our place in the present. What lessons can we learn from the ingenuity and spirituality of these ancient cultures? How do their mysteries inspire us to keep searching, keep questioning, and keep uncovering the truths that lie hidden beneath the sands of time? Now, we'd love to hear from you. Which of these ancient mysteries sparks your curiosity the most? Is it the grandeur of the Great Pyramid, the haunting enigma of the Forgotten King's tomb, or another site altogether? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to continue this conversation. And if you're eager to dive deeper, there's a world of exploration waiting for you, whether through books, documentaries, or even a journey to these incredible locations yourself. The past is calling. What will you discover?